Hi, welcome to the volunteer orientation for the Good Shepherd Food Bank's Cooking Matters program. Feel free to pause or play at any time in the video. If you have any questions during this orientation, take notes so that you are able to ask a coordinator afterward. The goals of this orientation are to introduce you to the work of Good Shepherd Food Bank, or GSFB, to inform you about Share Our Strength's No Kid Hungry campaign and its relation to the Cooking Matters program, and to provide you with an overview of the Cooking Matters program, the educational model, and the gold standards for volunteers. In 1993, Share Our Strength created the Cooking Matters educational program, whose goal was to empower at-risk families with the skills and knowledge to make healthy meals for their families. Today, that goal is largely still the same. Cooking Matters uses volunteers to teach residents who are at risk of hunger how to prepare delicious, nutritious, and low-cost meals. This results in Cooking Matters graduates who not only know how to identify low-priced, nutritious foods at the grocery store, but also know how to prepare them in their own kitchens. So now, you might be wondering, how does Good Shepherd Food Bank fit into the Share Our Strength's Cooking Matters program? In this graphic, you are able to see that Share Our Strength's Cooking Matters program is a national program. On the state level, Good Shepherd Food Bank serves as the local program partner and is responsible for the management of course materials, the program, evaluation, and administration. We work with host sites to bring Cooking Matters to participants in order to provide them with the skills and knowledge to independently make improved food choices, strengthen their confidence in their cooking ability, and share this knowledge with those around them. More about the structure of Cooking Matters will be detailed later in the presentation. Good Shepherd Food Bank does more than just distribute food in Maine. We work on advocacy, education, and we put emphasis on nutrition education. We try to source locally, supporting our Maine farmers through our Mainers Feeding Mainers program, and reach vulnerable populations such as children and seniors through our child hunger programs and the Commodity Supplemental Food program. Our mission is to eliminate hunger in Maine by sourcing and distributing nutritious food to people in need, building strong community partnerships, and mobilizing the public in the fight to end hunger. Good Shepherd Food Bank has seen significant increases in the amount of food it intakes and distributes in the past 6 years. As shown in the figure on the right, since 2010, the Good Shepherd Food Bank has more than doubled its food distribution as measured by weight. Good Shepherd Food Bank has been able to redistribute a large majority of the food that it receives. For each year depicted here, Good Shepherd was able to distribute 87 to 97% of the food product. This food is acquired through purchasing from large manufacturers, receiving donations, soliciting surplus food, and sourcing from local farmers. Food gathered by Good Shepherd Food Bank is distributed to over 400 partner agencies, including food pantries, soup kitchens, and community programs throughout all 16 counties in Maine. We do this out of our warehouses in Auburn and Hamden, as well as an administrative office in Portland, out of which Cooking Matters is run. On this map, you are able to see the locations of our partner agencies. Food insecurity is a big problem on both the national and state level. Here, you are able to see some important results of Map the Meal Gap, a research program on food insecurity by the national organization Feeding America. In the United States, the food insecurity rate is 13.4%. In Maine, the food insecurity rate is even higher at 14.8%. In order to qualify for supplemental nutrition assistance programs under federal requirements, recipients generally must earn a monthly gross income below the 130% poverty level. Only 55% of those who are food insecure find themselves in this category. In Maine, 63% of people who are food insecure are eligible for SNAP benefits, largely because the threshold is 185% of the poverty line instead of the federal 130%. It is worth noting that the average meal cost is higher in Maine, at $3.31 compared to $2.94 for the whole United States. The overarching point is that the community here in Maine needs our help to solve the problems of food insecurity. It would require an annual $116 million to cover the food shortfall in Maine alone. Nationally, the amount needed is over $22 billion. The 2015 Map the Meal Gap report also found that there is an 11.1 million meal deficit per year in Maine. This means that today, Mainers are missing out on over 11 million meals per year, despite the work being done by Good Shepherd, religious organizations, community events, and various others working to feed the hungry. Good Shepherd Food Bank has made it a goal to meet this need in our state. Through building capacity, Good Shepherd Food Bank plans to increase the number of meals it distributes from 19.3 million to 30.4 million by 2025, changing the color from red to green in the graphic on the left. This plan only expects other organizations to maintain the 6.1 million meals per year that they have been providing. Apart from hunger relief, Good Shepherd Food Bank also manages course materials for Cooking Matters, our program which teaches low-income residents how to buy, prepare, and cook healthy, nutritious, and delicious foods on a low budget. In the next few slides, you will learn more about the Cooking Matters program. The Cooking Matters program is part of Share Our Strength's No Kid Hungry campaign, aimed at ending domestic childhood hunger. In this slide, you are able to see the structure of Cooking Matters from the national level to the local level. As mentioned before, Cooking Matters is part of the national Share Our Strength's No Kid Hungry campaign. On the state level, Good Shepherd Food Bank, or GSFB, is responsible for the management of course materials, the program, evaluation, and administration. Satellite partners implement the Cooking Matters program on the local level. Some satellite partners include SNAP educators, Let's Go 5210 staff members, the Cooperative Extension Eat Well program, RSU 63, and organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, just to give some examples. Cooking Matters classes take place at the host agency, which is also responsible for recruiting participants. Here is a video to introduce you to Share Our Strength's No Kid Hungry campaign. The next video will give you some small insight into Cooking Matters.
Crispy, juicy, fresh. They're really sour.
An apple with cheese is a nice counterpoint.
You got a bow and arrow?
It's kind of like hands-on.
I like these cooking classes. It's very fun.
Cooking matters to me because I gotta eat.
It matters what you put into your body. That's why cooking matters.
In Maine, Cooking Matters is managed by Good Shepherd Food Bank. In some courses, nutrition education partners include the 5210 program, Maine SNAP Ed, and Cooperative Extension Eat Well program, but any interested organization focused on nutrition can participate in collaboration. The main focus of Cooking Matters and collaborators is to educate Maine SNAP recipients on how to eat healthy on a budget and maintain active lifestyles. Each Cooking Matters class is supplied with a $500 gift card to Hannaford stores to cover groceries used in class and take-home groceries for our participants. We consider ourselves very lucky to have Hannaford as such a wonderful local supporter and donor. Participants receive incentives and materials that are all provided at a national level by the Walmart Foundation. Next, you'll learn about our program's food skills education. The principles that guide the Cooking Matters programs are: food is meant to be enjoyed, preparing and sharing meals together is an important family and community event, emphasis on eating whole, real foods at low cost, volunteering or sharing our strengths is a way we can create community wealth. Our ambition is to direct participants away from processed foods without specifically telling them what they should and should not eat. Rather, we want to provide them with the skills and knowledge to make those decisions for themselves, for an impact lasting long after the class has ended. As you can see in this chart, Cooking Matters in Maine has grown since its inception in 2010. Over the past 7 years, the program has reached 22,000 participants. A Share Our Strengths Cooking Matters report titled It's Dinner Time, a report on low-income families' efforts to plan, shop for, and cook healthy meals, found that 85% of low-income parents feel that eating healthy meals is important to their families.
The study found that most low-income parents are already preparing meals for their families, not buying fast food as many people may think.
Moreover, 85% of low-income families value healthy diets for their families. The main barrier cited was the perceived high cost of healthy eating. This is why teaching low-income families how to eat healthy on a low budget is very important to Cooking Matters. Next, I will go over our course curricula as well as course structure. Pictured here are the 6 different course curricula we offer, including kids, teens, adults, families, child care professionals, and parents. We also have 3 addenda to the adults curriculum: wellness, diabetes, and center-based child care professionals. Wellness is designed for individuals living with HIV or AIDS. Cooking Matters classes meet 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. Participants and volunteers are expected to attend all 6 weeks. It is the host agency's responsibility to encourage attendance. We aim to have at least 8 participants per class and a maximum of 15 participants. We strive for a high graduation rate, that being an individual who has completed at least 4 out of the 6 classes of the course. Because of our emphasis on behavioral change over time, we do stress that Cooking Matters do not allow drop-in participants, and that each person who signs up does so with the intention of attending the entirety of the course. Each week features a nutrition lesson that is taught using methods such as hands-on activities or class discussions. 2 to 3 recipes are prepared each class that reinforce the nutrition lesson. Recipes are planned to make a complete meal, encompassing the 5 MyPlate food groups. In this activity, Roman demonstrates his newly learned knife skills by cutting peppers for the group's Christmas-themed snacks. At the end of each class, the instructors and participants all share a meal together. This is an excellent time not only to talk about the nutritional aspects of the meal, but also learn a little about each other. Participants receive take-home ingredients for one of the recipes taught in class to reinforce what they learned in the classroom. It feels great when participants come back the next week and tell you how they've made the previous meal at home. Now that you're more familiar with the course structure, you will be able to understand where you fit into the program. Cooking Matters Maine is primarily a volunteer-led program. This means community members must be willing to take on the responsibilities of either hosting, coordinating, or teaching the classes. As you can see here, there are a variety of ways to volunteer with us. The following slides will briefly describe volunteering for each role. The culinary instructor is probably our most sought-after volunteer role, since it is often this person that draws participants to the class. He or she will work in conjunction with the nutrition educator to teach healthy, low-cost, and relatable recipes to our participants. Culinary instructors are responsible for helping to prepare healthy recipes that are low-cost and easy to make. Culinary instructors must also teach knife skills, proper hand washing, kitchen and food safety, cooking techniques, and food budgeting. In this picture, you can see volunteer, chef, and restaurant owner Scott Lee teach a young participant how to shred carrots for their meal. Culinary instructors should expect that participants will come with a large range of culinary experience and skills. The nutrition instructor's role is to teach weekly lessons about healthy eating and budgeting using USDA's Guidelines for Americans. Weekly topics are based on dietary guidelines for Americans using MyPlate. The nutrition instructor is responsible for using tools and activities to generate discussion and demonstrate practical application of the lesson. The nutrition instructor should challenge participants to make one change, even if it's small, each week and check with them the following week, but do so without judgment or pressure. Tegan Romano, a nutrition educator working with Healthy Rivers, encourages participants to make realistic, small, and long-lasting changes to their eating habits over time that will not fade away after they graduate from the class. Even if you are not a nutritionist or a chef, you are still able to help with our efforts. Mary, who served as a class assistant, was able to help set up groceries before class, assist with making recipes during class, assemble take-home bags, and help with cleanup afterward. She was also able to enjoy a meal and conversation with participants. In these next slides, you'll learn about the education model that Cooking Matters uses. Cooking Matters food skills education is not based on demonstration nor lecture. It is participatory and centered on the learner, which provides a learner-centered approach. This recognizes that learners are experts in their own lives, involves sharing and comparing of experiences from members of the group, creates a safe environment for learners to consider changing behaviors, and is hands-on. Hands-on learning means learning by doing. It requires that learners are active participants in the process, helping them develop an understanding of concepts and skills. Another aspect of the learner-centered approach is team teaching. Team teaching allows both instructors to reinforce each other's messages. It offers different perspectives in a variety of instruction styles and personalities. In a Cooking Matters class, this means that both the culinary instructor and the nutrition instructor are equally contributing and working off of each other while teaching. The last piece of the Cooking Matters learner-centered approach is facilitated dialogue. Facilitated dialogue is a method of group teaching that involves active participation of both the learner and the educator. It offers proven techniques for engaging learners and recognizes that people learn in different ways. One technique used in facilitated dialogue is the use of open-ended questions to engage the learner in discussion. You will find that Cooking Matters curricula frequently incorporates the use of facilitated dialogue techniques. Oftentimes, participants have valuable information to share with both their peers and instructors. The learner-centered approach is most effective when volunteers follow a set of standards that Cooking Matters calls gold standards for volunteers. Gold standards are a list of key behaviors that, if followed, help to ensure successful, engaging classes that are as meaningful as possible for course participants. The first gold standard is interacting with participants. We want our instructors to be interacting with participants by building a welcoming, non-judgmental environment, demonstrating respect and cultural sensitivity, and managing inappropriate classroom behaviors. Our second gold standard for volunteers is to demonstrate subject expertise and classroom leadership. Of course, we assume all volunteers are knowledgeable on the subject that they are teaching and that they can be counted on to be prepared, organized, and on time. Gold standard number 3 is delivering course content. We do expect that volunteers are delivering the course content chosen by the Cooking Matters national team. There are a few key points we try to stress, those mainly being safety, increasing fruits and vegetables, lean protein, and whole grain intake, as well as encouraging physical activity. Although we do encourage discussion about all types and traditions of food preparation and consumption, we do not want volunteers teaching personal preferences or beliefs about food and nutrition. It is very important that we respect the way that all people choose to eat and prepare food, and we want our participants to decide their food ways for themselves. Finally, we assume that all of these things are done in an appropriate manner, that volunteers are using the learner-centered approach, team teaching, and building on content from the previous weeks. When volunteers meet the 4 gold standards, participants in Cooking Matters classes are more apt to be engaged in subject material and have a long-lasting impact. In the picture in the top left, you can see the results of abiding by the gold standards as coordinator Jenna Ulrich effectively interacts with children to teach them about sugar content in sodas. Gold standards for volunteers help to ensure that Cooking Matters classes have a positive and lasting impact on the lives of participants. In the next couple of slides, you will see an outline of expectations that Cooking Matters has for its volunteers, as well as expectations that you can have while instructing courses. Along with our gold standards, we expect volunteers to attend all 6 classes, attend meetings organized by the coordinator, possess a willingness to learn, share ideas, work as a team, teach and practice safety, and to be patient, understanding, and flexible. A Class 0 may be organized by your coordinator. This is a meeting with all people involved in a given Cooking Matters course before the first class. It is a time where everyone can meet, answer questions, become familiarized with the kitchen space, and delegate tasks. You will be given a liability waiver to sign and an instructor guide to help prepare you for each lesson. All people volunteer for different reasons, but we hope that volunteering with us will give you the opportunity to make a difference and support the mission to end childhood hunger in our state. You can expect that volunteering with us will make you feel more connected to your community and that your skills are put to good use. So you have a general understanding of the program, but you're probably wondering, what does the kitchen look like? Although the kitchen setup will differ from class to class, the next slides will give you an idea of what the kitchen will look like. Note that the coordinator will work with the team to make accommodations for the course's needs, such as bringing a skillet for the kitchen without a stovetop. In this kitchen space, Michaela went from teaching participants how to chop veggies to seeing participants graduate a Cooking Matters course 6 weeks later. John utilized this kitchen space so that participants could see all of his demonstration. Something as easy as taking a quick moment to teach participants the best way to cut specific food items has the potential to impact their diets and health for the rest of their lives. The instructors here use the smaller kitchen space efficiently to prepare the class lesson. Chef Daniel engages participants by asking the next step to make bean and vegetable quesadillas. In this Cooking Matters Kids class, Diane ensures that her young participants are using knives properly as they prepare mini pizzas with whole grain English muffins, reduced fat mozzarella cheese, tomatoes, mushrooms, green peppers, oregano, and basil. Now that you have an idea of what the kitchen may look like, you're probably wondering, what about the classroom? Although the classrooms vary, the next few slides should give you an idea. Jane makes her impact on the first class by going over my plate with a packed classroom. Generally, we expect 8 to 15 participants in each course. And you can see in this classroom that the 10 participants are very attentive to the fruit and vegetable lesson being taught by the nutrition instructor. It could be the case that one room will act as both the classroom and cooking area.
Thanks for listening. If you still have any questions remaining, please reach out to the program coordinator. Also, feel free to explore the Cooking Matters website at cookingmatters.org for nutritious